1 year ago, I posted the first video on my channel, and in my first year as an AI faceless YouTuber, I got 7.6 million views, grew to 140,000 subscribers, and made well over $100,000 from my channel. And I did all this with just 30 videos. And just to prove to you that I'm not bullshitting, in my first year, I made over $28,000 from YouTube ads alone. And this is just one of my revenue sources, which is also the lowest one, but more on that later. So you are probably thinking, great, how do I achieve the same results as you? Well, it's really simple. Let's quickly ask every faceless expert on YouTube.
You just need to have a strategic plan. Find a niche where new channels are doing more than 100,000 views. Research your audience and ask yourself questions like, what does my niche want and how old are they? Make your thumbnails stand out and use engaging editing. Use a software like vidIQ to find keywords with a high search volume and input those in your title and description. I bet you are making $900 a day and you are ready to earn some serious money.
I'm sorry to break it to you, but all this generic YouTube automation advice from these so-called experts simply doesn't work. My first video got 1.7 million views, with a terrible thumbnail and basic editing. Oh, and no keywords nor tags. Here is another video of mine with 1.6 million views. Again, doesn't look very special at first glance. Or this one, 800,000 views, and the list goes on and on. It's not about your thumbnails, video editing skills, keywords, or tags. Well, not entirely. There is something much more important, which everybody somehow forgets. So in this video, I will show you exactly what works, what steps you need to take, how I started my channel for free, and because I want to be completely transparent with you. In the end, I will even break down exactly how much I made and how you can do it too. But before we start, you need to understand one important thing. And this one thing is literally going to make or break your success. But to understand, I need to give you a little bit of background information about myself. Besides my channel, I'm currently running 2 companies. A company where we produce and sell electric bicycles, and an AI software company that helps you create content for LinkedIn. And running such companies is exactly how you should run a YouTube channel, because YouTube is just like any other business. A lot of these gurus talk about YouTube automation in a way to simply hire some people who do the work for you and you get rich. But no successful business started like, I want to create electric cars. I haven't done any market research, and I don't know how electric cars are made. So my first step is to hire a team and outsource everything so I can sit back, do nothing, and get rich. Every great entrepreneur has worked on the first versions of their products. You need to, at least, learn the basics before you can automate. How else are you going to instruct a team what to do if you can't even do the very basics yourself? Luckily, if you know what you are doing, it's actually not that hard, and I will show you exactly what to do later on in the video. But let's start at the beginning. Your market research. From most so-called experts, you'll hear something like, you need to find a niche where new channels are going viral. This shows you that there is a large demand. And yes, that's true, but they are forgetting one of the most important things. And that thing is supply. Supply is, especially as a beginner, much more important to look at. When we look at it from a business perspective, you want to look for a market with a high demand and low supply. If you are able to fill in this gap, you have found what we like to call a good product market fit. Now, some of you probably have seen this channel called The Paint Explainer. They started 6 months ago and are getting millions of views on their videos. If you look online, you can find a lot of new channels in this niche with a lot of success. For instance, this one who started 3 months ago and is also getting millions of views. So you might think, great, thanks AIpocalypse for this amazing niche. Let's start creating content. What people forget is that for every one of these channels who succeed, there are tens or maybe hundreds of smaller channels who are barely even exceeding 100 views. And this is what we like to call market saturation. So how should you look for good niches? Well, that's what I'm going to show you right now, and I will even give you a couple of great niches I found in just 30 minutes with the exact method I'm going to show you, totally for free. As a rule of thumb, you want to look for channels that are max 3 months old, where the majority of the videos have more than 100,000 views, and where there are less than 5 competitors who are doing the same. And you find these by using the incognito method. Open YouTube in an incognito window. Right now, YouTube doesn't know anything about you. What you now can do is train the YouTube algorithm that you are looking for new faceless niches around a specific topic. Simply search for keywords around a topic you like and try to find faceless videos. When you click on those videos, YouTube is then going to recommend more faceless videos. Once you dive deeper and deeper in this rabbit hole, you will quickly find amazing new niches with great potential. However, once you find something with potential, you want to check the market saturation. You do this by copying a couple video titles, enter those in the search bar, putting the filters to view count, the duration to 4 to 20 minutes to filter out the YouTube Shorts, and this month. Now you can clearly see how many other channels are doing something similar right now. With this exact method, I already found 3 amazing niches, which could be very interesting. This channel, for instance, who makes videos about shocking historical images. They started 2 months ago, have multiple videos with more than 1 million views, and there is almost no competition. Or this channel who makes videos about forgotten foods from the 70s. They started 3 months ago and have multiple videos with hundreds of thousands of views. And lastly, this channel who makes documentaries about people who have cheated with gambling. They also started 3 months ago, and almost every single one of their videos is getting hundreds of thousands, and some even millions of views. And again, no competition. But finding a good niche is just the beginning. Then it's time to create your first video. And most people think this is the hard part, or the part where you need to spend a lot of money, but that is simply not true. Let me show you how you can create TV show quality videos without any editing experience, and completely for free. First, here are the 3 tools you will need. 11 Labs for the voiceover, CapCut or DaVinci Resolve for video editing, YouTube's audio library for your background music and sound effects, and optionally a free AI image generator like Leonardo AI. Let's take these cheating gambler documentary videos as an example. I'd always recommend you start with your voiceover and background music first. This will set the overall tone of your video. So go to 11 Labs and find a voice which matches with the tone of your video. Input your script and generate the voiceover. Now go to YouTube's audio library and search for some background music. This is all copyright-free music you can use for free and monetize. Now open your editing software and start by adding the voiceover and background music to your editing timeline. Really try to get the pacing right. This is one of the most important elements of a good video. Add, for instance, a pause at a cliffhanger or speed things up when it gets more thrilling or serious. Now when we look at the example channel we found, you can see that they create extremely high-quality videos. They use a lot of these motion graphic animations, and these will make your video look extremely professional. At first glance, you might think that these are challenging to make, but let me show you how you can create these in minutes with the power of AI. You want to start by creating 2 images, a foreground image, in this case a person, and a background image. Let's go for a casino setting for the background image. Now upload them in your editing software, and remove the background of the foreground image. In CapCut, you can do this by going to Cutout and selecting Auto Cutout. Now zoom in on your foreground image and select Add Keyframe. This locks the position of this image at this place in the timeline. If you then place another keyframe further on in the timeline and change the position of the image, it will gradually change the position from the first keyframe to the second. Do the same for the background image. However, this time zoom in the image a little less than the foreground image. This way it seems like the foreground image is moving faster than the background image. Add some degrees of rotation, and you get this professional 3D animation effect. Use this effectively in your videos with some B-roll footage and a filter to make everything match better with each other, and within just a couple of minutes, you can create extremely high-quality videos.
It's December 14th, 2010. In the early hours, a man in black walks through the halls of the Bellagio Hotel and Casino. Tony Carleo, son of a prominent judge, is about to risk it all in a high-stakes gamble of a different kind. In a matter of seconds, $1.5 million worth of casino chips are swept into his bag.
Now you are almost ready to upload your first video and make your first dollars online. And I will show you in a minute how I got to that first $100,000. But before you upload your video, you will need to create a thumbnail and come up with a good title. Your thumbnail and title is what we call the packaging of your video, and this is what is going to make people click and watch. So yes, your thumbnail is important. However, if you've done your research correctly and you found a niche with a high demand and low supply, you don't have to make it over-the-top thumbnail. But your thumbnail does need to follow the bin system. The bin system is a checklist which you can use to make your thumbnail and title highly clickable. Your packaging needs to have a big claim, it needs to be easy or evoke emotion, and it needs to be new. Let's take a look at my first video, who got 1.7 million views. Big claim? Well, yes. How I made 300 shorts in 30 minutes. Easy? 300 shorts in 30 minutes? That sounds very easy. And new? Nobody did this before. So yes, very new. I made an entire video on creating amazing thumbnails if you want more details. And I'm uploading some extremely valuable videos in the next weeks on how to properly start a faceless channel. So subscribe if you don't want to miss those. So now you have your video and thumbnail ready. It's time to upload and start making money. Now, how do I make most of my money? And what can you learn from this? Like I showed you earlier, I made a little over $28,000 from YouTube ads. On top of that, I've made, for instance, $18,000 from just one of my digital products. And digital products are definitely a great way to monetize your channel. However, only if there is a good product market fit. And you need to keep in mind that your audience will literally tell you what they want. So listen closely to your audience, and if you have the ability to create a great digital product, always do. My newest digital product is, for instance, my Faceless Income Community. Here is, in my humble opinion, the best faceless YouTube course, and within this community creators can get feedback from me and each other. So that's a great product market fit because it's literally something a lot of my viewers have asked for. However, the biggest revenue stream for me is affiliate marketing. Since I'm a tutorial channel, this works really well for me. Just one of my affiliate products has made me $40,000 so far. And since this is a software with a subscription fee, every month I'm receiving around $3,000, even though the last video I've made for this product was 6 months ago. Definitely take a look at our community if you're interested in starting or growing your channel. See you in the next one.
Right, so I'm currently at my dashboard on smmshiba.com. And do not get confused by the website names. SMM Shiba and SMM Dodge are actually the same website. So all you have to do once you've created yourself an account here is to go on list, click on this category icon, select, and here you want to select something, basically any option that says from with video. So I'm going to choose this one right here, and this should be already fine. 2014, 2017, yeah. Now I'm going to click on buy, confirm, and now you can go onto your product orders and you will see this is pending. All right, the order is now completed. This didn't even take 2 minutes. What you want to do now is you want to copy that ID, and we want to be organized, right? Especially if we have multiple channels, you will not find them again. So make sure to save it somewhere.